Hello everyone, good evening. Good evening, good evening. This is CA Devang Kothari. Welcome to Unacademy. Good evening. Let me know, am I audible to you? Good evening, Deepa. How are you? Vaitahi, good evening, good evening. So how are you? How are your preparations going? Studying hard or hardly studying? Shanti, good evening. Going good, going good. Great, great. Okay, nice to hear from all of you. Okay, before I begin, let me tell you what are we gonna discuss today. Today's session is for discussing the RTP May 22 exam RTP. Two sessions I'm going to have, that is today's session and tomorrow same time, 7 to 8:30, 1.5 hour session, and we'll be discussing all the important questions out of this May 22 exam RTP. Okay, and we'll be covering mostly only the important questions. If there is time left, then we can cover more questions also. Yeah. Plus tomorrow, in my tomorrow's session, after finishing the RTP discussion, I'll be also open to any discussions, any doubts, any queries that you have. Okay. Okay. Before I begin, certain important announcements for you guys. Well, Unacademy is about to increase the prices for CA intermediate classes. So if any of your friends need admission for CA intermediate, please ask them to start taking your subscriptions now itself, because the prices are about to increase by 25%. Act fast. You can use code Yashas Live to get a 10% discount on your subscriptions. Also, happy to announce that we have launched the Iconic program for CA Final. Iconic is the premium subscription for CA Final students. Under the Iconic subscription, you'll get live mentoring platform, live mentoring in which there will be one-to-one doubt solving and strategy sessions for the students. There will be evaluated test series. Tests will be conducted and the papers will be checked also. Printed copies of the books will be given. Plus, you will have all the routine benefits of Plus classes. Plus classes routine benefits like live classes, weekly tests, study material, and structured courses, unlimited access, all that basic benefits of Plus classes are still there. Yeah. The test series will be conducted in three stages. First test at 40% syllabus completion, second at 80% syllabus completion, and third at 100% syllabus completion. After every test, there will also be an analysis class in which the paper will be discussed, and after that the papers will be checked, evaluated copies will be given to you, and they'll also give you feedback regarding your performance in the paper. The pricing for the Iconic subscription will go like this, but in that pricing you can use code Yashas Live to get a 10% discount on that subscription. Okay. Yes, Ujwal, good evening. Ujwal, welcome. You can also go for combo subscription, group 1 plus group 2 combo, go like this. Okay. Okay, so that was about the important announcements. Now, starting with the RTP discussion. Well, total 11 questions in the RTP, and all questions, good questions. But I will not be discussing the questions in the sequence how they have given, because certain questions are very easy, very simplistic questions. So I'll just brush them up fast. We'll focus on the important questions. Yeah. Like I said, that we'll be covering mostly all the important questions of the RTP. I'll give you an overview of all the questions, but detailed discussions I will do only for the important questions. Yeah. So we'll start. Yeah. Tell me, first of all, have you yourself referred to the RTP still? Have you yourself studied the RTP or gone through it at least? Yes or no? Don't worry, it's not required, but I'm just asking, ever have you gone through the RTPs or not? No, no. Okay, no worries. Deepa has gone through. Good, chalo, my favorite student. Okay, no worries, but do please go through that RTP at least after my discussion. Yeah, yeah. It's good that you had been waiting for my discussion, but good. But after this discussion, please do go through that RTP. Yeah, because after this discussion, you will be feeling a little more comfortable going through the RTP. Yeah. Okay. So starting with the first question. First question pertains to First question in the RTP pertains to chapter 7, and this is absolutely just like our classwork questions. In our classwork, we had question 1, question 2 of chapter 7 in the regular batch. If you had attended the fast track batch, then only question 1 of chapter 7 we had done, which was regarding a comparison between ROI and RI, residual income and return on investment. Comparison in the sense that just not just the calculation, but comparison also covers, say, the benefits and drawbacks of residual income and return on investment. Do you remember that? Question 1 is absolutely just about that. Yes, Chanchal, hello, good evening. Omkar, good evening. Omkar, good question. Is it necessary to solve the entire RTP or audit should be done? Well, Omkar, the RTP will contain many new kinds of questions. So probably you may not be able to solve it directly. You'll have to first study the RTP. And that is like you'll have to study orally, not solving it, but you'll have to study it. But Omkar, what you can do is while you study the RTP, whatever calculations you can perform yourself, try to do them yourself. Like Omkar, I'll give you example. Like say question 1. In question 1 of the RTP, you are given some divisions. You are given some details of that divisions, but some details are missing. You see that question marks? Yes, Omkar. So simple calculations like this, at least you can try making it yourself and then see the answer given there. Yeah, try to make a mixed method. Like don't audit the entire RTP blindly. You try to calculate few things and then study the remaining things. Done? Omkar? Yes. Okay. Meenakshi, good evening. Okay, so I was saying that question 1 pertains to chapter 7, which is basically comparing RI, residual income, and return on investment. Presently, the divisions are evaluated based on return on investment, and they have given a proposal to evaluate based on residual income. Well, it's not that residual income is always the better method. Remember, both had their drawbacks, both had their benefits. Chalo, let us recap. For return on investment, what is the drawback for using ROI for divisional performance? What is the drawback of using ROI in divisional performance? Screen is not clear. Anyone else has that issue? Screen not clear? Because from me here it is clear. No issues? I think no issues. Meenakshi, I think you need to change your YouTube settings for better quality. Yes, thank you, Kishore. Good evening, Kishore. Meenakshi, you just need to increase your YouTube picture quality. You can go to YouTube settings and choose that higher picture quality, and it will give you better face of mine. Yeah. Okay, so we were revising what is the drawback of return on investment. Return on investment, the only drawback is that when a new project is given, then in case of new project acceptance, there might be conflict between a division decision and the company decision. Do you remember that? Yeah, if the new project is giving ROI less than the division ROI, then division manager will reject it. But company manager will accept it as long as the ROI is better than the cost of capital. Yes, Deepa, it will dilute the ROI of division if ROI of the new proposal is lesser. So in short, conclusion is that ROI might lead to conflict of goal congruence when the question is about accepting a new project. Here in this particular question, in this question 1 of the RTP, they have not given any new project as such. They have actually not given any new project. So without any new project, ROI is a good enough method of performance measurement. Plus, residual income has a drawback. Can you tell me what was the drawback in a residual income? Anyone? Let's see how much do you remember. Residual income drawback. Exactly. Yes, Deepa, thank you. Residual income cannot be used for comparing one division with other division. Deepa, especially when the size of the division is different. Yes, so residual income cannot be used for comparing division GG, YY, and NN with each other, especially when the size of the divisions are different. Yeah. So both that benefits and drawbacks you can mention in your answer. Here they have asked you to finish these calculations and they have asked you to calculate the residual income. That is actually a very simple and easy question. So I'm not discussing the details in question 1, that I'm leaving it for you. Is that fine? Yeah, I'll just give you some basics over there. You can calculate these items over here. These items that are missing, you can calculate these missing items, and based on the missing items, you should be able to get the return on investment under each division, and then you can answer these questions given over here. Okay? Yeah, they're asking you identify the reason for poor performance of the division. So you identify that which division has the least performance based on ROI. If required rate of return of company is 8%, comment on the performance of division using residual income. So then you comment that which division has the best highest residual income. Yeah. State benefits of RI, major shortcomings of ROI, RI, and even accounting profit. And why the company should use non-financial performance measures. So you give the benefits of using non-financial measures. Yeah, that is simply about chapter 7. Most of the things we have done in class. Yeah. Question 2, we will discuss. Question 2 has a certain new things here. So let's see. Question 2. Question 2. Star Cellular Limited engaged in manufacturing of mobile handset batteries. The company is manufacturing mobile handset batteries. And the question is pertaining to ethical and non-financial considerations. Chapter 5, if you remember, we've done that. Yeah. Yes. I'll not read the entire case. I'll just give you the basic summary of the case. The company is manufacturing mobile handset batteries. And they have recently found out that the battery which they are manufacturing, BL5C, is the number or the model name of the battery. They've recently found out that this battery gets heated beyond the limit and it gets exploded. It explodes in the handset, which may cause harm to the user. This is actually a real case. There had been such incidences for certain mobile phones in the market earlier, if you know, and there were quite complaints about that particular phone that the batteries are exploding. Yeah, so the company found out that the batteries are exploding because of some particular problem in the batteries. The engineering team provided a solution that they can change the materials. They can change the basic materials how the batteries are created and also modify the process of producing the battery. So they have a solution to resolve this issue of battery explosion, but it will lead to increase in production cost by rupees 80 per battery. Naturally, changing the material and a better production process will cost something extra. It will cost them rupees 80 per battery. Now read the paragraph. In order to understand the severity of the issue, the technical team makes an estimate for the next month. For the next month, it is estimated that 120 such issues may take place out of 180,000 batteries. Tell me, is my screen visible to you? I think I will zoom it up a little. It will be easier for you to see. A little bit more. Yeah, now this is better. Better, right? Yeah. So they estimated that 120 such issues may take place out of 1,80,000 batteries that you expect to manufacture and sell in the next month. So what is 120? 120 is estimated explosions. Out of total 1,80,000 batteries that you produce, you estimate that explosion will be approximately only 120. And out of that 120 explosions, the technical team also suggests that out of such 120 explosion incidences, only 10% cases, meaning only 12 cases, will be the one wherein the user will be able to identify that explosion is because of the bursting of the battery. See, the company, this technical team is very cunning. It's actually very cunning. They are stating that out of 1,80,000 total batteries produced, only 120 batteries might explode. But out of that 120 explosions also, not all 120 customers will complain. Out of 120 explosions, only 10% of the customers will even find out that explosion happened because of the battery. Many times the customer will feel that explosion happened because I was using a duplicate charger. Customer feels that explosion happened because I had dropped the phone or dropped the phone in water or something. Yeah, but there are only 10% of the chances when the customer will realize that the explosion has happened exclusively because of the battery. And when the customer comes to know that it's because of the battery, naturally the customer will take legal action. And in case the customer will take legal action, then you may have to pay 10 lakhs as compensation in each such case. Now, let us do the cost comparison. Cost comparison, if I do, what will be the cost of completely resolving this issue? Cost of reaching zero defect. Well, the cost of completely resolving this issue is 80 per battery. You will have to incur on how many batteries? To completely resolve the issue of explosion, you will have to incur 80 rupees per battery for changing material and changing the process. But this 80 you will have to incur on how many units in the month? Well, total units in the month 1,80,000. So in that case, you will have to incur 80 per battery on 1.8 lakh units. So how much does that turn out to be? Calculate 80 per battery into 1.8 is 144 lakhs. Yes, Deepa, thank you. 144 lakhs will be the 144 lakhs will be the cost of resolving this issue entirely. But on the other hand, if you do not resolve this issue at all, if you don't change your battery production, if you let your batteries remain same only, meaning let it explode, देखा जाएगा जो होगा. Let it explode, we'll see what happens. So if I do not make any changes in my battery, I let it explode. So what will happen? Out of 1,80,000 production, only 120 batteries will explode. And out of 120 explosion, only 10% people will identify that explosion is due to the battery. And if such 10% users take legal action, so if all that 10% users will take legal action, so how many users will take legal action? 12 users. Yes, only 10% of 120, so 12 incidences will take legal action. And if 12 instances will take legal action, so the cost of that legal action would be 12 explosions into rupees 10 lakhs. That will make it 120 lakhs. So tell me, financially, is it worth resolving this issue? If I don't resolve that issue, then my cost is 120 lakhs. I can call this as the cost of external failure. You know external failure? Defective units was given to customer will complain and I'll have to pay compensation. This is external failure cost. But to To prevent this external failure cost, I need to make changes in my production process, and changes in my production process will cost me 144 lakhs. 144 lakhs is like my prevention cost. And this is like external failure cost. Well, so my prevention cost 144 lakhs, external failure cost 120 lakhs. Which is better financially? Is it advisable to do the prevention? Financially, is it advisable to do the prevention? Well, no. Based on financial factors, it is not advisable to do prevention. Yes, Meenakshi, you're right. So based on financial factors, it is not advisable to do the prevention. You mentioned that first. But then you mentioned that considering the non-financial factors, like at least ethical factors, your product is going to damage the customer's health. It might even be fatal for the customer. You might have seen certain news reports where due to mobile explosion the person dies. Yeah, the phone is kept at the ears and the explosion, it can cause severe damage. Yeah, so it is basically an ethical, moral responsibility of the company to resolve this issue. So financially, you say that it is not necessary to resolve this issue, but ethical responsibility, moral responsibility, yes. Secondly, so resolving this issue will also give them other benefits. Benefits like good brand image, the company image will improve. Yeah. Plus, when your product quality will be better, then eventually customer will have more trust on the company, and because of that, sales will also improve. Or you can get better selling price. All these are the benefits of resolving the ethical issue here. Done? That's the question here. Evaluate viability of the solution provided by the engineers. First, you mentioned that financially, yes, the engineer's solution is not viable, but considering non-financial factors, yes, it should be implemented. Mention some benefits of implementing that solution. Mention some benefits of doing this prevention. You mentioned that you can save yourself from the legal actions. Mention that your overall brand value will improve. Mention that because of better product quality, you can get more sales, you can get better selling price, and because of this better product quality, you will get long-term benefits for the company. Done? Yes? Yeah, let us see the solution there. Yeah, there's the solution. Okay, see the solution. Solution to question number 2. First paragraph, I have just shown the calculation of 144 lakhs, the cost of increasing the quality. You can say this is the prevention cost. Second, I show the calculation of the cost of lawsuit. The cost of lawsuit, you explain the calculation, it is 120 lakhs. So from a monetary fact, you can ignore the solution given by the engineering team, because that solution given by the engineering team is costing 24 lakhs more than the cost of the lawsuit. So based on monetary fact, you will say that the solution should not be implemented, but qualitative non-financial implications also you should consider. Hence, you should consider the ethical and social aspect, like safety of the user, consumer is something ethical reason why you should solve this issue. Brand value and reputation of the company, it will improve if you resolve this issue. Unnecessary diversion and engagements, because whenever lawsuits will be filed, you will have to divert your efforts to face that lawsuit, to tackle that lawsuit. So unnecessary productive time you will waste in fighting the cases, fighting the lawsuits. You know that you're going to lose that lawsuit, but still you will have to make an appearance at the court. that again is quite damaging. Regulations and intervention, well, eventually government will put some regulations to prevent you or to restrict you from producing that bad quality batteries. Right now maybe government does not put, but in future government will definitely put some restrictions or maybe penalties on you. Okay? And comparative advantage, better battery will enhance the customer experience and it might result in increase in sale price or increase in sales quality. Yeah, you can get better sales or you can get a better price if your battery quality you improve. So overall you might get monetary benefits in the short run by ignoring the solution, but it will tarnish the image in the long run. Therefore you should consider qualitative factors also. Simple answer there. Yes, please. Question number 2. Very clear with that? Yes. Any questions in question number 2? Okay. Then question number 3. Question 3 is pertaining to environment management accounting, but it's also pertaining to activity based costing. Yeah, I hope you remember activity based costing. We'll discuss the full question. Let's see. SY Industries operates in 2 different lines of business. First one is SY Paper Mart, that is SPM, and the second one is SY Glass Limited, SGL. The question is divided into 2 parts. One part of the question is about the Paper Mart business, that is completely different, and the other part of the question is about the glass business. Yeah, the Paper Mart business, the question about Paper Mart business pertains to environment accounting, and the question about glass business pertains to activity based costing. So you get 2 different situations over here. Further, so my first question pertaining to Paper Mart business. SPM is a paper manufacturer, deals in different sizes of paper that obtained ISO EM Environment Management Systems certification a couple of years ago. So you've got some kind of environment certification. Then CEO of SPM was committed to environment cost management. The CEO at that time, whoever was, he was very much committed to environment management. At his superannuation, the new CEO replaced him. Superannuation means retirement. So after retirement of that CEO, a new CEO has replaced him, who believes apart from avoiding legal consequence, there is no sensible reason for considering environment cost management. See, the new CEO is of the opinion that why are we doing environment management? We don't need that unless there is legal requirement. So we will do environment cost management only to the extent of avoiding the legal problems. Baki, we are not interested in improving the environment. I am not interested in improving the environment. That's what the new CEO is commenting. SPM hardly practiced the requirement contained in the standard of environment certifications afterwards. So after this new CEO, they were hardly fulfilling the requirements of that particular certification. It seems they obtained the certificate just to fulfill some legal requirements of certain tenders and trade partnerships, as well as for improving image only. They had got the certificate only for improving your image, only for some legal requirement, but they are actually not careful with the environment planning there. That's what they have described over here. Now this is my details about the Paper Mart division. Then they have given details about the other division, SGL. So first we will discuss the question pertaining to SPM. Then we will discuss the question pertaining to SGL. But before I discuss about SGL, let us see the question that they have asked about SPM. The question that they have asked is simply evaluate the belief of new CEO of SPM. New CEO of SPM. Is his belief correct? Well, his belief is that environment management accounting, environment cost management is not important. It is to be done only to the extent of legal requirement. Is that belief correct? Well, obviously not. His belief is not correct. You explain that his belief is not correct by presenting benefits of environment management accounting. By presenting benefits of environment cost management. Benefits of environment cost management from chapter number 4. What could be the benefits? So I'll give you a summary. Benefits of that will be, again, brand value of the company will improve. Yeah. Plus environment costs are actually becoming huge. So for long-term benefit of the company, you should be careful with the environment costs. Yeah. So mainly the benefits here will be described in terms of the long-term benefits. Yeah. Let's see the answer there. First, notice in the answer, the belief of new CEO is fallacious and unfounded. That is bad belief, wrong belief. Environment cost management is important due to the following reasons. See some reasons I have given. First reason is that environment costs can be very large in some sectors. Certain sectors might be having huge environment costs, you might be causing lots of damages. Paper industry, paper is made from trees by cutting the trees. So definitely it has a huge environmental impact. So environment costs will be very large for certain sectors. Society in which business operates cares for the environment. So you have to care for the environment because society cares for the environment. If you care for the environment, then you will have a better brand image. And with better brand image, you will be able to sell more quantity or you can sell at a higher price. Yeah. You know Honda car manufacturing. Honda company in India is there since many years. But you know, until around 5 years back, Honda never produced a single diesel car in India. Did you know that? All the Honda cars were petrol cars only. Until I think 5 or 6 years back, they launched a Honda Amaze. That car, Honda Amaze, was a diesel car. But before that, they never launched a diesel car because Honda company, they believed in environment safety and they believed in environment conservation. And because of that belief, they actually never produced a diesel car because diesel is having more little bit bad emissions than petrol. The diesel emissions are more damaging to the ozone layer. So Honda company never created a diesel car for the Indian roads until they were sure of a proper technology that can reduce the pollution caused by diesel cars. You know, at that time, every car manufacturer in India was selling diesel cars also. In fact, at that time, diesel cars were very famous because at that time, the price difference between petrol and diesel was pretty huge. At that time, when petrol was costing 60 rupees, diesel was costing 35 rupees. There was absolute huge difference between petrol price and diesel price. So obviously all the taxi drivers and all the people who have regular use, they will prefer the diesel car. But Honda still never ventured into the diesel car unless they had a reliable technology which does not damage the environment. I was pretty impressed with that. But anyways, so that has created a better brand image for the company, and due to that the company can sell more quantity or sell at higher prices. These are the simple benefits there. That is my first question. Important in question 3 is about the glass division. Yeah, let's see now the glass division. For the glass division, SGL is the manufacturer of glasses and uses a particular material called cadmium, which as per WHO, cadmium exerts toxic effects on the kidney as well as skeletal and respiratory systems, etc., etc. In short, the glass division is using some material called cadmium, because of which there are toxic effects in the output, and it is used in manufacturing of the red ruby glass. They are making many types of glass, but one of the glass they make, the red ruby glass, is the glass which consumes, which will use as well as release cadmium. Now cadmium, when it is released, it is a toxic, and it is being released in production of this particular glass, red ruby glass. Only the red ruby glass is responsible for all the cadmium emissions, but the cost accounting system, see this, but the existing cost accounting system allocated a portion of this cost to all the products. See, their existing cost accounting system is allocating all the emission cost to all the products. Is that correct? No, because cadmium emissions happen only from this red ruby glass, ruby red glass. The cadmium emissions are happening only from the ruby red glass. Then the cadmium emission cost should be given only to that particular product. But they are not doing that. So probably they are not following activity based costing. You suggest them that they should follow activity based costing so that the particular cadmium emission cost is given only to that particular product. Okay? The turnover of the division is 248 crores, which was around 17% higher than what it was 1 year ago. Okay, so current year turnover sales is given. During the immediate previous year, that same current year, the cost of disposing of the toxic material, was 82 lakhs. The cost of recycling products and scrap was 1.05 crores, 64 lakhs. Cost of committee responsible for environment certifications and formulating organizational policy on environment proceeding was 24 lakhs. So some committee you have created for environment certifications and all, it is costing 24 lakhs, which includes 2 lakhs fees for renewing the certification and 3 lakhs for boarding of inspection team who made visit prior to renewing the environment certificate. Okay? Environment monitoring and employee training cost also you are given. Audit monitoring cost, this 37 lakhs monitoring cost includes audit fees of 2 lakhs and inspection cost inside my company to ensure compliance of environmental standards is 7 lakhs. See, all these items of cost you are given. Can you tell me what do these costs pertain to? Which topic, which chapter, which topic does it pertain to? Does these items of cost remind you of some topic? Come on, anyone? See, on YouTube, I might be getting your responses a little bit late because that happens on YouTube. Better would be on Unacademy app. We get immediate responses, so I can get your responses immediately. On YouTube, anyways, it'll be around 10-15 seconds delay when you give your response and I get your response. To be fast. So I'll tell you. You remember something called as cost of quality, prevention, appraisal, internal and external failure cost? And we had done that same cost of quality under environment management accounting also. Yes, I think we had done that same 4 components under EMA chapter 4. It was called as Henson and Mendoza classification. Henson and Mendoza classification, in which you have to identify all components of cost of quality. Looking at the name given in question, I was confused. Which name given in the question? They have given that same Henson and Mendoza. Yeah, anyways, I'll tell you. So Henson and Mendoza classification is basically an extension of what we learned in chapter 2. It's an extension of what we learned in chapter 2, that is cost of quality for the environment activities. Yeah, so cost of quality for the environment related activities. So you help me out that which item pertains to which component. You have 4 components, that is prevention cost, appraisal cost, internal failure and external failure. Do you remember that? Yeah, let's see which item pertains to what. My cost of disposing toxic waste. Cost of disposing the toxic material 82 lakhs. What type of cost will that be? Prevention, appraisal, internal or external failure. Well, you have toxic waste or toxic material and you have to dispose it. You have the toxic material, meaning there is a failure. And you are yourself disposing it. Customer is not telling you. You are yourself disposing it. This falls under internal failure. Yes. Second, the cost of recycling products and scrap. Well, recycling products, forget scrap, recycling products. Imagine if you recycle your own products, if you recycle the products which have like left out or something, what does that lead to? Isn't that a kind of prevention? Instead of purchasing new products or new material, you are recycling the same material. Well, recycle will always prevent environmental damages. So recycling, I can put under prevention cost, environment prevention cost. But scrap, well, recycling of scrap will be put under internal failure because the scrap generated itself is a failure. Your scrap got generated. Generation of scrap means you failed one time. But then you are recycling it, meaning you are making it good. So you failed once and then you are trying to repair that failure. That is your internal failure cost. Yeah. So recycling of products will fall under prevention. Recycling of scrap will fall under internal failure. Next, there is a cost of committee. The committee which is responsible for getting certifications and formulating organizational policy on environment. Say you have a committee who will formulate organizational policy for environment. Now they will formulate policy after the damage has happened, or they will formulate policy to prevent the damage from happening. Naturally, the committee will make policies to prevent the damages from happening. So whatever cost you incurred for that particular committee, whatever cost you incurred for that committee, that entire cost will become prevention cost. How much cost have you incurred for that committee? For the committee, I have incurred 24 lakhs, which includes 2 lakhs fees for renewing the certificate. Okay, even if 24 includes the renewal fees, the renewal fees is also a part of that certification. It is a part of prevention. And it includes 3 lakhs for boarding of the inspection team who made visit prior renewing the certificate. Anyways, that 2 lakhs and 3 lakhs, both which are included here, all of them is a part of getting that certification. It is a part of the cost for formulating organizational policy. So that falls under prevention cost. Entire 24, 3 and 2, all of that will fall under prevention. Next, environment monitoring and employee training cost. Both are different. Tell me, monitoring falls under what? Monitoring cost, environment monitoring. Monitoring cost will fall under, remember, all types of checking, testing, monitoring, all of that will fall under appraisal cost. But employee training cost, training of the employees to prevent the environmental damages. So training will always be under prevention cost. Okay? So environment monitoring is appraisal, that is 37 lakhs, and a training costing 8 lakhs. But they say that monitoring a cost includes audit fees of 2 lakhs. Okay? Auditing is also a type of checking that also falls under appraisal. So you don't need to separate that audit fees. If you separate, you can just show it separately. You can simply show that audit fees separately. Then you can show audit fees and other monitoring cost separately. But anyways, both audit fees as well as monitoring, entire thing will fall under appraisal cost. And then finally, inspection cost inside SGL. Inside SGL means inspection cost inside my company. The inspection cost incurred within my company will fall under appraisal cost. Yes, did you understand all these items here? So one more item they have given later on, that during that year there was a penalty order of 75 lakhs passed by some authority against my company for cadmium emissions. Well, against the cadmium emissions you had to pay 75 lakhs penalty. this becomes external failure cost. Remember, external failure in case of environment means the cost which is imposed on the society at large. Yeah, so you had to pay that penalty because you did damage in the society at large. That is my external failure. However, they have given further that you made an appeal to the appellate authority, and appellate authority upheld the order of the adjudicating authority but reduced the penalty to 40%. So 75 lakhs into 40%, that much reduced penalty you will have to pay. I'll give you a minute, just go through that. Tell me, did you understand the classification here? Any doubts, please ask me. I expect you to ask me a doubt. I know one place where you should have a doubt. I have to ask, come on. Yes, please, any doubts? If no doubts, you can tell me no doubts. Okay. So if you are not asking me a doubt, then I'm asking you a doubt. Let's see if you can answer. Yeah. So no, my doubt is this. So weird. I am myself creating the doubt and I am myself solving the doubt. But let's see if you can solve my doubt. My doubt is that देखो my the cost of committee 24 lakhs includes 3 lakhs for boarding of inspection team. Inspection team. Includes 3 lakhs for boarding of the inspection team. But I still put entire amount under prevention. Why? Doesn't inspection fall under appraisal? That's what we did here. Inspection cost, we said, falls under appraisal. Then why am I putting this 3 lakhs within prevention? Because that is the cost for boarding and other arrangements of inspection team. You made arrangements for some inspection team. Yes, did you understand my question? Should I repeat? Okay, Vaidhi. Yes, Vaidhi, I can say that is one of the reason, correct? Yes, this inspection is not inspection done by me. My appraisal cost is the inspection which is done by me. This was an inspection done by some team who came here to give certification. I wanted that certification, or I wanted that certification for formulating my organizational policies. Yeah. So basically that certification is my prevention cost. No, Meenakshi, that is not inspection of the supplier. Meenakshi, that is some certification team. The authorities who are giving me certificate, that authorities are coming and inspecting my premises or inspecting my factory. So I am not doing the inspection. If I am doing inspection, then that falls under appraisal cost. Many times what happens is some students, you'll just see the word inspection and put it under appraisal. Don't do that. See, what is that part of? That inspection is a part of the committee who is formulating organizational policy. So basically that is a part of my prevention cost. Done? Yes? Okay. Then let's see the required part there. Question 2, they're asking comment on the current pattern of allocation of environment cost pertaining to cadmium emissions. So comment on the allocation of cadmium emission cost. Is the current method of allocation correct or not? See, when you answer this, you first explain that currently what they are doing, then explain what they are doing is wrong, then explain that you better use ABC method. What they are doing is that my cadmium emission cost is allocated to all products. But my cadmium emission happens only because of one product. So is it correct to allocate my cadmium emission cost to all products? No, that is not correct, because cadmium emission happens only from that ruby red ruby glass. It happens only from one product, so it should be allocated only to that one product. So the current pattern of allocation is wrong. Advise a better approach which cost accounting system should adopt. What better approach you should adopt? Better approach that you must adopt is simply activity-based costing. Yeah, better approach is activity-based costing, that you identify that whatever emission is happening, it is happening because of which product, and you allocate only to that product. That's it, simple. Second, prepare common size environment cost statement for the previous year as per the classification suggested by Henson and Mendoza. We just did that. You make a total and get totals for each item there, and analyze the environment cost structure with a piece of advice for the management. Analyze that cost structure. So chalo, to analyze that cost structure, let me show you that answer of this classification. I'll show you the answer of the classification. Based on the answer, I can show you some analysis. Okay. So question 3, first part we discussed already. Second part, only red ruby glass is responsible for the cadmium emissions, but still they have allocated it to all products. So that will result in undercosting of red ruby products, and other products will be overcosted then. Okay. The cost accounting system should adopt activity-based costing. You should adopt ABC method so that the cadmium emissions shall be charged only to the red ruby glass. Okay. This will also be helpful in reducing the environment cost as well as emission. See, when you are distributing your emission cost to all products, then that emission cost will get distributed over more number of products, so it might not look very significant. But if you allocate that to only one product where it is belonging, you might actually see the significance of that cost. Okay? Yeah. Okay, third answer was the calculation of prevention, appraisal, and internal failure costs and all. You see, I've just made those totals over here, exactly what I discussed. Accordingly, my prevention plus appraisal cost total 137 plus 44. That total turns out to be 181. I can call this as the cost of good quality. I hope you remember that, cost of good quality. And my failure cost 146 and 30 is the total into 176. That is my cost of poor quality, cost of bad quality. Well, I can say that here in this company, my good quality cost and bad quality cost, see, they are almost balanced. You remember that if I spend more money on good quality, then my bad quality cost will decrease. If I spend less money on good quality, then my bad quality cost will increase. Here in this company, both are already almost balanced. So I can comment that their cost of quality is almost quite balanced situation right now, so there is not much that they can do. But still, when they are asking you advice, imagine when a client comes to your office asking for advice, you will generally not tell the client that everything is good, continue as it is. No, you have to show off your knowledge. Yeah, as a chartered accountant, you must show off your knowledge, so you have to give him some suggestions. What suggestions will I give this company? Well, you can give some suggestions to this company to further reduce their failure cost. So you will not give suggestions to reduce your good quality cost, but you can give suggestions to them to reduce your failure cost. They have toxic material disposing cost, penalty cost, and all. So let's see what suggestions have they given. Dekho. The total environment cost 357, which is almost balanced and near to optimum, but penalty cost should be avoided. They have paid penalty cost of 30 lakhs or 30 crores, whatever, 30 lakhs, which should be avoided. You should see that what caused to pay the penalty and try to prevent that penalty next time. You can also try modifying the process to reduce the scrap. This scrap cost is also pretty huge. You can try to reduce that. And toxic material. The main cost here is the cost of disposing toxic material. See if you can replace that material with some non-toxic or less toxic material. Okay? That is some suggestions there. In short, that's my answer to question number 3. See, they have given the explanation. External inspection is put under the prevention cost, and they have given explanation that when should you put it under appraisal cost. They have also given it an open note over here that based on certain assumptions you might put that under appraisal cost also. But okay, let us focus on what I explained. That seems to be the right way to do it. Okay. Yes, that was your question number 3. I'll give you a minute. Any questions there? Come on, let me know. Any questions? If no questions, you can say no. You can proceed one more question. Question 4 has some new things to learn. No questions? Okay. One more. Question number 4. The question 4 is regarding total productive maintenance, TPM. But this question is a complete new topic. Yes, it happens many times that you get new topics in the RTP. This topic is not anywhere in the institute study material, not asked in any previous exams, not there in any previous RTPs. It is a new topic here, so please concentrate well. Although it is a very easy topic, in fact, after you learn the topic, you'll be like, kya hai ye? Like, why are they having such simplified topics at CA final level? But that's the case. Ujjwal, audit fees. Ujjwal, first of all, this audit fees in that question is not your accounting audit. It is environmental audit. And audit, Ujjwal, means checking. What do you do in accounting audit? When you go for auditing work, what do? You are checking the books of accounts. Same way, environmental audit will be checking for emissions. And that checking is basically checking cost, inspection cost. That is your appraisal cost. Appraisal cost, Ujjwal. Ujjwal, all types of checking and testing will fall under appraisal cost. Auditing is a type of checking and testing, should fall under appraisal cost. Huh? Yes, Ujjwal? Okay. Okay, question 4, let's see. DV Enterprise is known for quality products and processes across the industry. It operates in a two shift of 9 hours each on 26 days in a calendar month. Chalo, get me the total hours there. Two shifts into 9 hours into 26 days makes it 468. Makes that as 468 hours. Okay. So total 468 hours is the hours in a calendar month. In its drive for efficiency and enhanced productivity, it adapted TPM and tried to minimize the 6 big losses. You know what is TPM? 6 big losses and all. The top bosses, in the presence of a few board members conducted the review meeting for TPM, and the head of maintenance department, Mr. Hukum Singh, and the head of production and operation, Karthik. Mr. Karthik said, break down maintenance that is currently in practice. So what is breakdown maintenance? Breakdown maintenance meaning I will repair the machines only when there is a breakdown. I will not keep the machine regularly serviced. Instead, I will just repair the machine whenever there is a breakdown. That means breakdown maintenance. Breakdown maintenance which is currently in practice. That is what they are currently doing under pillar 3 of TPL. Remember that pillars of TPL. Yeah, that breakdown maintenance has failed to make an impact in terms of improving productivity. Naturally, because if you follow breakdown maintenance, so you will simply do repairing when there is a breakdown. So that might not improve your productivity. In fact, that is damaging. We've done that earlier. Yeah. He further suggested DV Enterprise must move to preventive maintenance. What is preventive maintenance? Preventive maintenance means regular servicing of the machine. Regular servicing so that there is no breakdown, so that breakdown is prevented. I must have given you example about AC servicing or car servicing in my class. Yeah. So they are suggesting to move to preventive maintenance. He mentioned that during the most recent month, 14 incidents of breakdown happened, which led to downtime of 32 hours. So in that recent month, last month, let us say, 14 incidents of breakdown had happened in 1 month, and due to which there was a downtime of 32 hours. So what did you do in that 32 hours? If there were 14 breakdowns, so 32 hours were wasted. What did you do in that 32 hours? Yes, during that 32 hours, you did the repairing work. Yeah, during that 32 hours, you did the repairing work. Okay? So that 32 hours were spent for repairing the breakdown. This is the details of last month. Okay, one more guy, Mr. Sadanand Tripathi, who is a board member and an engineer, immediately responded that why preventive maintenance, why not predictive maintenance, and also raised the concern regarding how efficiency of preventive maintenance will be measured. Predictive maintenance is like maintenance prevention. You predict what will go wrong and you prevent that before it goes wrong. Okay? Okay. On this, Mr. Karthik replied, Mtbf, Mttr can be used for measuring efficiency. Now, this is the new topic. Yeah, this is the new topic that you are not aware of. What does that mean? I'll show you. Can be used for measuring efficiency. Regarding predictive maintenance, he said that IT team will be in a better position to suggest data analytics capabilities. Hence, further cross-functional deliberation is required to reach the conclusion. So, regarding predictive maintenance, he is just avoiding the question. He'll say that IT team will take care of it. Mr. Hukum opposes Mr. Karthik. Hukum was whom? Dekho, who is Hukum? Hukum Singh is the head of the maintenance department. So he is the guy who's supposed to do the maintenance. Hukum is the guy who is supposed to do the maintenance. Karthik is the guy who does the production, head of production. Now Hukum is opposing the production manager. Just to make it easy, I'll say this guy is the maintenance manager and this boy is the production manager. So in simple terms, maintenance manager opposes the production manager because maintenance department is already under pressure. Hence, it is not in a position to practice preventive maintenance. Production manager says that Hukum should do regular servicing. But Hukum is saying that, I don't have time to do regular servicing. I'm already overburdened. I'm already under a lot of pressure. So I don't have time to do the regular servicing. You call me only when there is a problem. Yeah. Mr. Karthik said, despite multiple rounds of training, the operators are not able to perform maintenance on their own. Remember pillar 1 of TPM, autonomous maintenance, that you give some training to the operator so that small problems, minor problems, the operator can resolve himself. But that is not happening. The operator is harassing Hukum Singh for even small issues. If the operator are given better training so they can resolve the issues themselves, then Hukum can become little free to do the regular servicing every time. Yep. Hence, maintenance department becomes responsible to keep all machines in order. Okay. After considering the viability of all sorts of maintenance, too, ultimately top bosses decided to shift to preventive maintenance. Okay, for 3 months. So they decided to try preventive maintenance for 3 months with a condition of review after the 3rd month. Mr. Karthik was asked to send a manpower requirement report to cope up with the overcapacity burden. After 3 months, Karthik reported that only 6 incidents of breakdown took place in the recent month, in the 3rd month, which caused 15 hours of downtime. So you notice that 3 months you tried preventive maintenance and then you are given data of the 3rd month. See, earlier you were given data of the last month. Now you are given data for the 3rd month. Now we are given data of the 3rd month, that in that 3rd month only 6 breakdown incidents happened and it caused only 15 hours of downtime, while in the last month it was 14 incidents causing 32 hours of downtime. So tell me, do you agree that the preventive maintenance done for trial period 3 months has actually given benefit? Tell me, do you agree that preventive maintenance has given benefit? Yes or no? Yes, 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 the preventive maintenance seems to have given quite some benefit. But now see the note given. This note changes everything. That last 2 lines note actually changes everything. See this. The note here says that during the 3rd month, production unit remained operative for only 14 days due to forced lockdown on account of COVID-19. So they are trying to make the question so realistic. Yeah, there you go. My last month, I operated. In the last month, I operated for how many days? I operated for 26 days. But in the 3rd month, I have operated for only 14 days. So now do you think that this reduction in a breakdown and reduction in a downtime, do you think this is actually an achievement? Well, not necessary. This reduction in breakdown might not be an achievement. Reduction in a downtime is not an achievement. Maybe that reduction in a downtime has happened because you have worked for less time. In 26 days, you had 14 breakdowns last month. In 26 days, you had 14 breakdowns. But this month you have only 6 breakdowns, but you have worked for only 14 days. So is that 6 directly comparable with 14? No. Similarly, my downtime hours, 15 hours, is that directly comparable with the downtime hours of last month, 32 hours? No. If you want to compare, then you need a proper measure for that comparison. So that's why he is suggesting these 2 measures for measuring efficiency of the measuring efficiency of preventive maintenance to see whether preventive maintenance has benefited or not. Analyze the effectiveness of preventive maintenance using Mtbf and Mttr. Now they have told what is Mtbf, mean time between failures, and Mttr is mean time to repair. See, the word seems to be complicated, but if you break it down, it is actually very simple. Forget the word mean. Mean means average, but the important is time between failures. Tell me, in my present situation, my total time 468 hours, and how many failures? Failures means how many times the breakdown happened. 14 times the breakdown happened, and for that 14 times my total hours lost is 32. So how many hours did you work? How many hours did you work in the last month? Let's see. My total time in last month is 468. From that, 32 hours breakdown. So the hours effectively worked, 468 minus 32 is 436. Yes, thank you. 436 hours effectively I have worked, and during that 436 hours effective working, tell me, did I work continuously 436 hours, or were there disruptions in between? Did I work continuous 436 hours, or did I have disruptions in between? There were disruptions, right? How many disruptions happened in between? How many times disruptions happened in between? 14 times, right? Because 14 times there were breakdown, so 14 times there were disruptions. So this divide by 14, if you do 436 divided by 14, if you do, it gives 31.14. What does this indicate? 31.14 indicates what? This indicates that after every 31 hours there is a disruption. Yeah, you understand that there is a disruption after every 31 hours of work. Every 31 hours of work, you work for 31 hours, then there's a disruption, you wait for the repairing, again work for 31 hours, then there's a disruption, wait for the repairing, again work for 31 hours, and so on. Yes, so 31 hours is called as time between failures. It is the time between the failures. So basically this 31 hours is your working hours in between the failures. Time between the failures, Mtbf. Did you understand Mtbf? Yes, tell me, do you understand Mtbf? New concept. Yes, and the second concept there, Mttr, is mean time to repair, meaning average time to repair. Well, that is more easy. What is my average time to repair? My total repairing time is 32 hours. And that 32 hours is repairing time for how many repairs? 14 repairs. So average time for each repair will be how much? My total repairing time 32 hours for 14 breakdowns. So 32 divided by 14, 2.29 becomes my mean time to repair. Mean time means average time to repair. Did you understand both calculations, Mtbf and Mttr? Yes. And if you understood that, can you also work out both of these? Yeah, can you try calculating both of these for this third month now? Try, chalo, I'll leave this on the screen. You try. Because in the third month, now when you calculate that, this will be after implementing preventive maintenance. So let's see, after preventive maintenance, does your Mtbf, Mttr improve or decrease? Improve or get spoiled? If you have the RTP, don't see the solution. Try to calculate yourself. Why the 39.5 and 2.5? Okay, let's see. I don't have the answer, but let's work out. So my total time in the third month is how much? My total time in the third month is 14 days into 2 shifts into how many hours per day it was? 9 hours per day. Okay, the 14 days into 2 shifts into 9 hours per day. Total time is 252. And from that, my time wasted in repairing work is 15 hours of downtime. So my actual working time is 237. But during that 237 hours of working, there were disruptions. How many disruptions did I face? 6 disruptions. So divide by 6. Divide by 6. Yes, by the 39.5 becomes my mean time. Mean time between failures, Mtbf. And my Mttr will become the total time spent in repairing. 15 hours you have spent in repairing over 6 different repair incidences. So 15 divided by 6 makes it 2.5. Yes, do you understand the calculation? See, I told you it is a new concept, but if you understand that, then you'll be like, acha, it is so simple. Yes, you find this simple? Done? Okay, but only calculation here is not enough. You need to understand interpretation of both also, Mtbf and Mttr. Tell me, now if you compare my last month and this month, so you compare my last month and this month. See, my Mtbf, last month Mtbf was 31.14 and this month my Mtbf is 39. So from 31 to 39, it is increasing. So increase is good or increase is bad? Mtbf increase, is it good or is it bad? Well, Mtbf increasing is good. It means that you are getting more time between the failures. So between every failure, you are getting more time. So you are getting more time between the distractions. Ujjwal, Mtbf increasing is good because you are getting more time in between the failures. See, Ujjwal, understand the interpretation. This 31 indicates that after every 31 hours, you had to stop and do the repairs. But here, after every 39 hours, you have to stop and do repairs. So isn't that better that your repairs happens after 39 hours, not after 31 hours? Yeah, you are getting more time of production between the failure. You are getting more productive time between the failures. So that is good. But look at the MTTR. My MTTR last month was 2.29 and MTTR now is 2.5. So MTTR is also increasing. Is that good or is that bad? MTTR, you see, it is also increasing. Is that good or is that bad? Well, MTTR increasing is definitely bad because what does MTTR indicate? MTTR is mean time to repair, meaning how much time did you take to repair in each instant? Yes, in each breakdown, how much time did you take to repair? Well, in my last month, for every breakdown, I took 2.29 hours to repair on an average. But this month, this month, I took 2.5 hours to repair each time there was a breakdown. My repair time has increased. If repair time has increased, that is bad. See, it was important to understand that interpretation. You have to write that in the analysis. Done? Oh, you have already answered. All of you. Nice. Mani Jyoti, welcome. Good to see your answer. Yes, Ujjwal, it means that more time is taken for repair, so that is bad. Okay? Let's see the answer. Let's see the question first. Analyze the effectiveness of preventive maintenance using Mtbf and Mttr. See the solution, chalo. See the calculation first. Mtbf, Mttr. Mtbf 31 and 39, just like we calculated. Mttr 2.29, 2.5, just like we calculated. Okay? So because we have already done the calculation, I am not explaining the working here. It's the same working what we did. But let us see the analysis. In case of Mtbf, higher is preferable. Yes, in case of Mtbf, higher is preferable. Remember that. But in case of Mttr, lower Mttr is preferable. So here in this company, Mtbf represents the time between two breakdowns. In this company, it is increasing. So that is good. But Mttr, it represents the time required to do the repair. Well, that is also increasing. Most probable reason may be that under the preventive maintenance, more due care is performed because maintenance needs to be performed to prevent the breakdown. Maybe that is why the MTTR is increasing. So conclusion will be what? Conclusion we have in the advice. Say my advice is it is advisable to continue preventive maintenance because Mtbf is improving significantly. In time to come, it may be possible to improve the MTTR also. See, you have just started doing preventive maintenance. Maybe that is why you are extra careful and you are spending more time in repairing work. You are spending more time in that maintenance work. Over a period of time, you should try to decrease your repairing time. You should try to decrease your MTTR because preventive maintenance is always better than breakdown maintenance. Yeah, so you suggest that Mtbf has improved, so yes, preventive maintenance should be done. Agreed that my MTTR is also increasing, but over a period you try to decrease that. Maybe training of the maintenance staff or identification of parts where usually breakdown happens, all these things might help you to reduce your repair time in future. But if after another quarter or two, if MTTR does not come down, then you might think of another alternative like predictive analysis. Done? Yes, that's my answer. Just take a look and let me know if you have any questions. Yes, please. Any questions? Okay, so that covers almost 4 questions from your RTP. Total around 10 questions are there. One more 11th is there, but I think that is just an objective kind of question. But my scheduled time for today is about to get over. So we'll keep it till here today, and more questions of RTP we are again meeting back tomorrow. Yeah. So tomorrow again we are meeting back. The remaining all questions we'll be discussing out tomorrow. Is that fine? Yeah, by then please do try, if you get time, do try to go through the RTP, because see, if you just directly attend my class, you will understand everything I explain. But if you had some doubts, and maybe you will not be able to think of the doubts when I'm explaining. If you have been through the question beforehand, then you will be in a more comfortable position to ask doubts. Okay? So try to go through the RTPs by tomorrow. Anyways, 4 questions we have already gone through. Only remaining questions you have to go through. Can you do that? Yes, and Baki, please keep your preparations strong. Keep on making your preparations more and more strong. See, these exams are going to be the last exams of your life. Yeah, imagine these are the last exams of your life. See a final exam clear, then it's done. You finish the race. You can see the finish line now. Now you cannot slow down. I used to run marathons. I might have told you that in my class. I used to run marathons, and I remember my marathon experience that the first marathon that I had ran, 10 kilometers marathon, the first time when I had run, um, by the time of say 8 kilometers, 8.5 kilometers, I was very exhausted. I took a break. I had some water. There were bananas at the counter. I had some banana, and I tried running again a little bit more. But then again, I got exhausted. I started walking. I started walking to finish the race. But in the last 600, 700 meters, say last 500 meters were remaining. When the last 500 meters were remaining, I was in Bangalore. I was on the Nice Road in Bangalore. There's a road called Nice Road in Bangalore, if you're from Bangalore. And the road was having like slopes ups and downs. So naturally, by the end of the race, if you have to climb a slope, imagine by the end of the race, you're already exhausted and you have to climb a slope. It is so annoying and so exhausting. So I slowed down and I was almost walking at that time. But while walking, the moment I saw the finish line, you saw the finish line, there was lightings and decorations at the finish line. People were dancing, and the host of the event was also shouting something and encouraging the people and all. And when I saw that finish line, I saw all the encouragements. What feeling would you get? Like, you see the finish line, now you cannot slow down. Even though I was completely exhausted, completely gone, but still, you see the finish line, you push even harder. Well, your finish line is just about here. Now is not the time to slow down. Yeah, your finish line is almost at the corner here. You can see the finish line. Now that you see the finish line, there is no slowing down. See, it doesn't matter you come first in the race or come last in the race. That's why I take example of marathon, not a race. See, in a marathon, what is important is to complete the marathon. It doesn't matter to complete first or last, but important is to complete the marathon. And you complete the marathon strong. finish strong. That's what we are taught. In all my running groups and training groups and all, I've always been taught that you start a marathon slow. You start a marathon at a slow and consistent pace, and you retain energy for the finish, because you have to finish strong. Now this is your finishing line. Now you don't have to retain energy. Now is the time when you give out all your energy, not for the running, but for your studying. I hope you are able to relate that. Don't take me wrong and go running tomorrow morning. Yeah. Anyways, we'll be back tomorrow evening, same time, 7 p.m. and hope you all will be live tomorrow evening also. Okay, 7 p.m. Thank you very much. Bye bye. Good night.